Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Casey Jones and Raphael in Disguise 2-pack from the TMNT movie line from NECA Toys. This was a Walmart exclusive. I know a lot of people had difficulty actually finding this at Walmart, so it was eventually available on the NECA website, which is how I actually got mine. This was a while ago. I have had this for some time. I apologize. Finally working my way through my backlog here. And very excited for this one. I think the Casey Jones figure looks fantastic. Getting another Raphael with his disguise is always fun as well. You get some new bandana choices and things like that. So that should be pretty fun. Not too much going on with the packaging. I love how they kind of made it look like the original VHS with the kind of side of the packaging here. If anyone's familiar with the original VHS packaging. Depends how old you are, I guess. Also, you have the NECA done in the FHE logo, which I also love because they distributed all the Ninja Turtle VHS back in the day. And then you get some cool photography here with the figures. I think looks really, really good. So really fun packaging. I'm going to go ahead, get these guys out of here, and we're going to take a closer look. Here are the two figures out of the packaging. We'll start with Raphael first, just because, not that he's less exciting, it's just that obviously I think, you know, Casey is the 100% new figure in this set. I believe this Raphael is exactly the same as far as the figure underneath as the first Raphael release. Maybe a different head. I can't remember off the top of my head if he had this same angry expression on the original release. But of course he has the trench coat, backpack, and fedora. Now, unfortunately, I can't get this to kind of like stay on. I was kind of hoping it would like not click into place, but just kind of like fit a little bit more snugly. And I can't really seem to get that to happen. I keep trying to push it down and hoping it'll kind of stick on a little bit more. It's got a little cutout in the back here for the knot of his bandana. And I was wondering if maybe it was going to like just kind of click onto that. But I can't really seem to get that to happen. So it does just sit on there and it looks good. But if you move it, it's just going to fall right off. So unless I'm doing something wrong, and please feel free to let me know in the comments, I can't really seem to get that to stay on. So I'm just going to put that off to the side for now. You do get a couple extra bandana choices. So right now he's kind of got it split with one on each side. You have some options here where you can have both over here to his left or both over here to his right. And you just pop the old one out, pop this one in. You can see it's got a little peg on the back. I'm not going to demonstrate it. I like this one right here. But just to show you, it's very simple to just pull the old one out, pop the new one in. So you have a couple extra bandana choices there. I think the trench coat looks fantastic. I think they did a really good job with that. The backpack even looks exactly as I remember it. And his shell is all underneath here, so very bulky. I'll try to do my best as far as articulation goes. Head's on a ball joint, so you can move that side to side, up and down, move it side to side like this. You can see that there's still that kind of torso movement. If I try to open this up, underneath here, like underneath the shell, there's kind of torso movement because there's kind of a joint inside, you know, underneath the shell there. You have the sim kind of shoulders that you're used to. So you have a hinge there. You have a rotation. You have the double jointed elbows, just like the original figure. I'll try to shimmy his sleeve up so we can actually see the elbows. Should be able to do this. Let's pop this up. There we go. So if we zoom in here, you can see it's the same elbows that we're used to. So you have the movement there, side to side movement. Wrists are the same. Have the hinge and the rotation. And you do get a couple of extra hands as well. We'll get to that in a moment. I want to kind of pull the coat sleeve back down. Come on. There we go. So like I said, I do believe it is the exact same Raphael figure. Just now he has the trench coat and the backpack and everything. But the trench coat looks really good. I think they did a really, really nice job with it. It fits him well. It looks good. It doesn't look hokey or too poofy or anything like that. I think it really works. He's even got little pockets. I don't think they are actually deep pockets, but you know, they're sewn on there, which I think is a really nice effect. So let me see, are they actually, can I put something in his, I can, they're actually pockets. That's awesome. So you see, he can put his sigh in his pocket if you want. That's actually really cool. It's actual working pockets. He does have his usual like belt loops here if you want to get the side. Let me see if I swivel his arm up so he can make some room here, and then we can put the Psy in normally. That way he can kind of point to them when he wants to intimidate the people he chases around in the park. Now the only problem is there we go. I was going to say the trench coat didn't lay as flat with the Psy in there, but he can kind of lift it up and point to it. He does come with a pointing hand, so you can point to it for intimidation purposes. But that's great. Like I said, I really think the trench coat looks good. And then I guess the rest of his articulation, he's got your typical hip joints, so you can kick out to the side, kick front to back. He's got the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, as you can see there. He's got the swivel and the rock in the ankle. As far as I can tell, it's the same Raphael figure as before. I don't think it's any different. He just now has a coat on. But it's a very good looking coat. I think they did a nice job. So I'm going to show off the rest of his accessories really quick, and then we'll move into Casey. See if I can get him to stand. There we go. So of course he does have two Psy. I showed you one already. Here's the second one. And I believe these are the same as well as the original release, but they look good. He's got a couple of extra hands. So he's got two sets, or I should say one set of two pointing hands, is what I should say. And then he's got a kind of open palm set of hands as well. And then he comes with a piece of pizza. In addition to the fedora and the two headbands and everything else I already showed you. So a lot of good stuff with him. But we're going to put him off to the side. And then we're going to get into Casey Jones here. Because he is, in my opinion, the more exciting of the set. And again, not to downplay Raph at all. Just, this is a completely new figure here. So very exciting. So here is Casey Jones. He looks really good. I love the hockey mask. I know a lot of people were bummed that they didn't also give us a, maskless face, but I think at the time they didn't have rights for the actor, likeness rights. But I believe that's been worked out because when they were showing us pictures of the April figure that's coming later this year, he was kind of in one of the shots with a maskless face. So I think that's been ironed out, and I think that is coming, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this figure looks really good. We got the golf bag on the back. And that just comes separate. It's very simple. You just kind of, put it around the arm and then over the head onto his shoulder. It comes separate in the box, but I went ahead and put it on already. I always liked him with the hockey mask, and he really only wears it for like the first 2 minutes of his introduction in the movie, and then, he just never wears it again. So in a way, I'm kind of excited to have a figure of him that always has the mask, because I really like the look, and he doesn't wear it very often. Actually, he has it back when he catches up with them in April's shop. I think he has it on again, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been a minute since I've seen it. But he doesn't wear it very often, is my point. So I'm happy to have him have it here. I think he looks good. I think the head looks good. It's on a ball joint. I was trying to determine if it's on a hinge as well. I don't think so. I think it's just a ball joint, but you get a lot of nice range of motion there. Shoulders, nice, simple joints there. Really nice and fluid, which I like. You have the hinge and the swivel. You have double jointed elbows, as you can see. And with humans, the double jointed elbows always look a little weird to me. I know why they have to do it this way, but it always looks a little goofy. But you have swivel there. You have the bend, and it's really nice and fluid again. Really, really works out. I think there's a swivel down this end as well. Yes, there is. So you have a swivel and a hinge at both sets in the elbow there. Of course, you have a swivel and hinge in the wrist, and he does come with some additional hands. You have kind of a ball joint here in the torso underneath the clothes, so you can't really get at it or see it, but it is kind of there. You have out to the side hinge and front to back in the hip. You have a thigh swivel there. You have one single bend at the knee, but I think it works. You have a swivel as well. And then you have the hinge and the rock side to side. I just always think it's funny, like I never really thought about it, but he really does just wear sweatpants the whole movie. Like that's just, he's out there fighting crime on the streets in sweatpants. So, you do you, Casey Jones. He's got the hinge and the rocker there for his sneakers. You can kind of see the socks underneath, which I think is a nice touch. So it's a good looking figure. It really is. The detail in his vest and his shirt, I think really works. The golf bag, I love the mask. Really nice job with the hockey mask. So he's a great figure. Really, really cool. Looks fantastic. Obviously, I would have loved to have gotten a maskless face included, but I'm okay with this for now, and they are going to give us one eventually, so that's pretty cool. But let's get to his accessories, because he comes with a ton of accessories. So first off, let's go through all the different hands he comes with, because he does have quite a few. So you can see he comes with completely closed fists in the box. That's what he comes equipped with right off the bat. He has got a pointing hand. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. So he's got a pointing hand here, and the hand that kind of groups up with that is this almost kind of a square opening there in his hand, and I think that's to hold like the hockey sticks and the bigger weapons. We'll get to that a little bit later. So that's one set. Now he comes with two sets of hands that to me look very, very similar. And it has to do with, I think, the size of the opening in the hand there. So this, he has a set of fists with this, which is a little bit larger opening, and a set of fists over here, which is a little bit smaller opening. So here is the smaller opening hand set, and then here is the little bit larger opening hand set. So he does come with, I guess, 4 sets of hands in total, if you count the ones that are on him in the box, so that's pretty cool. And then let's get into these accessories. So we have the hockey stick. Very, very nice. I love all the paint and everything on the tape. It looks very sharp. Then he comes with the giant goalie hockey stick. This thing is massive. I mean, honestly, if we zoom out here, this thing is almost as tall as he is. It's huge. It looks absolutely ridiculous when you put it in his golf bag. This one doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit larger, but it's certainly not as ridiculous as this one. But I love that this is included. He's got the cricket bat. Of course, let's zoom in a little bit here. And they all have the kind of tape detailing on them, which I think looks really good. And then he's got the 2 baseball bats. They don't say Jose Canseco on them or anything like that, so we don't know if he paid money for this. But these look fantastic. And then, of course, you'll never call golf a dull game again. Now, this is a little thin, and I feel like it's a little frail, and I'm a little worried about how it's going to hold up over time, but it looks fantastic. I mean, the driver looks great. You know, you have the silver paint here for the shaft of the club. You got the grip over here. And I think this is definitely one that would be used with that smaller opening on the hands. It looks great, but it's just a little flimsy. But like I said, I get why they made it this way. I just think with having this much weight on the end of it, which is necessary, it's just how golf clubs look. But so be a little careful with this one. This is the only one that I don't think it's about to snap, but I mean, if he was being posed with this and say he fell forward or something, it might break. So maybe be a little careful, something like that. Now, as far as fitting everything in his little golf bag here, you can fit a decent amount of stuff. The 2 baseball bats fit perfectly, and you barely see them. The cricket bat can fit in there as well. I feel like if you do that, that's because the cricket bat has that one side that's like a little thicker. It's a little bit more difficult to fit more stuff in there. But I think, can we get this in here as well? Let's see, maybe if we move some stuff around. Maybe if we do the cricket bat last. Let's put this in. I think we can, as long as we just position it correctly. Yeah, maybe a little something like that. It's not too bad. There we go. How about that? So you can get a decent amount of stuff in there. Like I said, I really don't think this is going to fit in there. I don't really think it's meant to. And you could definitely put the golf club in there, but again, I'd be kind of hesitant to put this in with a bunch of other things because, again, I just kind of think it's a little thin. But he looks great. I mean, really, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and give him that larger square opening hand, if I can find it in the pile of hands here. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one off. Come on. There we go. Wow. That one was really in there. All right, then we're going to go ahead and pop this in. And this showcases how you switch out the hands. They're usually a little bit easier to get in and out than that, but that's okay. And then we'll give him the giant hockey stick. There we go. So that's pretty cool. I really like that a lot. Really, really neat. I also like to pose them with the 2 baseball bats. And then I would use these smaller gripping hands. Or actually, they probably fit in the larger gripping hands, yeah. I'd probably use these 2. But he looks cool. I mean, this is a great set. There's a ton of good stuff here. I'm having trouble getting Raphael to stand, but that's just me. Nothing wrong with the figure. I'm just bad at posing stuff. But this is a great set. I really like this a lot. Obviously, I think the Casey Jones is probably the more what's the word I want to use? Impressive out of the two, and not because there's anything wrong with Raph. It's just, 75% a figure you've seen already, just with some new accessories. And I love the disguise look, especially because it's the scene when these two ran into each other for the first time. So I think that's really cool to capture that here in this set. And at the time, I don't really think they had anything else to pair him with. I mean, a lot of people like to kind of pair Casey and April together, but they didn't really have the likeness rights from Judith Hoag yet, which they do now, and they are working on it. I think it's almost done. It's coming out later this year. Went up for pre-order already on their site, so very excited for that as well. But yeah, this Casey figure is fantastic. Really, really happy with it. Love the accessories. Love all the different hands. Like I said, the only thing I think anyone could really complain about is not having a maskless head, but that wasn't their fault. They couldn't do that at the time. I think it is coming, which is really cool. So yeah, I think it's a great set. I guess if I had to complain one thing about Raph, I wish his fedora could attach to his head a little bit more snugly. It looks good. I don't have a problem with it. I just wish it could kind of not click into place, because that doesn't really make sense, but maybe just fit a little bit more snugly onto the head so that if you moved him around, it didn't fall off right away. These are minor complaints. This is a great set. If you can get your hands on it, I definitely recommend it. I know it's a little bit harder to find at this point, but if you can find it for a decent price, I definitely recommend it because it's a really good set. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.